Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Empowering Her podcast. It's me, Melody Pourmoradi, for another episode. And this episode is very much inspired by a conversation that I recently had with one of my private clients. And as always, I have permission to discuss this. And I felt like if it was of service to her, then it will be of service to those of you who are listening today. And it is about this. It is about the way that we define ourselves. So we are all moving through this big, beautiful, sometimes scary life and world. And in every moment, our subconscious mind is throwing out definitions at us of who we are, based on experiences, based on thoughts that we're having, based on relationships that we have in our lives. And the question that I have for all of you is it in the strong moments that you define yourselves, or is it in the weaker moments? And sadly, for so many of us, it is in the weaker moments that we create these definitions of ourselves, these ideas about who we are. And we allow them to stick, and we allow them to move through us and propel us to the next experience. And if we're defining ourselves by the weak moments, we're likely going to attract more weak moments, more moments that perhaps we're not proud of, or we feel less than or not good enough. But what would it be like if we did the reverse of that? What would it be like if we measured ourselves by the strong moments? Because if you sit here right now and you pull out your journal and give yourself a cool 3 minutes to jot down some of the highlights of your life, I bet you could come up with at least 10. If you were to sit and write for 3 minutes, the lower points of your life, you could come up with those too. What are you going to put your focus on? Are you going to continuously punish yourself for the things that didn't go right or didn't end the way that you wanted them to? Which, by the way, things that don't end our way are sometimes just the universe's way of rerouting us, of moving us towards the actual right next step for us. And so often it comes in the disguise of a poor ending or things not happening the way we wanted them. The fact of the matter is the universe always has a better plan. As long as we're moving forward with a pure heart and intention and doing our part, the universe always co-creates, but sometimes it co-creates in a way that's different than the way we would have hoped for, which once again, it's a reroute in the right direction for you. Just another piece of evidence why we shouldn't define ourselves by the weak moments. So I was giving my client these examples from my own life. Like, do I define myself by those moments in fourth and fifth and sixth grade where I really fought with myself? I was constantly in this battle with myself. I didn't like myself. I didn't like my reflection in the mirror. I didn't think I had anything to offer to friendships. I felt not good enough for anyone around me. I felt like I didn't bring anything to the table. I felt like I had no contributions. Am I going to define myself by those moments? Or am I going to define myself by the moments where I opened my heart and shared something that was true for me and somebody else opened theirs because of the action that I first took? Am I going to define myself by the day that I released my first book and what a proud moment that was? Am I going to define myself by the day where I finally said yes to starting the GiRLiFE Academy, the GiRLiFE movement? Am I going to define myself by those moments, or am I going to define myself by the other moments that perhaps didn't go the way I wanted, or where I wasn't feeling like I was operating in my truth? Because there's always a choice. That's one of the keys of empowered living, is that you always have a choice. You get to choose where you're going to put your energy, where you're going to put your focus. You're going to get to choose what thoughts you want to think in this moment. You get to choose what friendships you hold space for. You get to choose all of you. You get to choose how to use your time. You get to choose what you're going to eat at each day, each moment of every day. You're going to choose what activities you're going to partake in. You're going to choose the kind of work that you do. Everything is a choice. And that's to me, that's like the most empowered piece of information that I can have, is that I get to choose. And if I don't like what's happening right now, I get to choose again. So in those moments when you are feeling vulnerable and you are feeling not the greatest, are you going to choose to create this whole story and narrative about yourself based on that? Or are you going to remember, are you going to remind yourself that you've had moments of triumph and victory and goodness and love, and allow those to define you? Because it's all available to you, beautiful human. It's all available to you. All you have to do is decide where you're going to place that energy. I hope that this has served you. It's a very short and sweet episode, inspired by a real life story. And, we are all mirrors of each other, right? If one of us is experiencing something, chances are so many of us are experiencing that same thing. And if we can all just choose to be a little bit kinder to ourselves in those difficult moments, and to see them as difficult moments, and just that, we don't need to give them more weight. We don't need to allow them to sit on us for days and months and years. We can choose to feel the feelings and then heal the feelings. Feel them, heal them, and then release them. We don't have to hold on to them for a lifetime. Those are not the moments that define us. Only you get to decide the moments that define you. So what's it going to be for you? I hope that you are going to choose those moments of victory, or choose those moments where you were struggling and you chose to come back, because that is your birthright. That is your choice as a human being living. So I love you. I mean it. Thank you for tuning in for this short episode. I hope that it has served you. And if it has, please share it with someone who could benefit from it. And I will talk to you again next week. Bye. If you love what you're hearing on the Empowering Her podcast, it would mean the world to me if you could leave a 5-star review. And as a thank you, I would love to share a free audio with you called Claiming Your Enoughness Now. Simply share a screenshot of your review with me on Instagram at GiRLiFE Empowerment with 1 L, either in the DMs or in a story, and I will send the gift your way. Thank you so much for your listenership. I can't express how much it means to me.